It's a 1 hour special.
This is Big 12 football, brother.
It's so good, man. I love it.
First and 12 previews the 2024 season for BYU, Utah, and added members of the new Big 12 Conference.
We've always been greater than first and 10. We're first and 12.
Well, the amount of people that ask me, so how would you actually get to a first and 12 on a game? I'm like, look, some spot foul. I don't know. Move on. Look, it's 12. It's the conference name, and it's the first year of doing it. Yeah, maybe next year will be second and 16, and there would have been a procedure penalty or something. There would have been a grounding penalty. It's a spot foul. It's a loss of down.
Avenue,
boom.
Down in Tempe,
there you go.
There's a grounding penalty on Mill Ave. We should do a deep dive this offseason on the go-to spots. Like, we need to bring – like, it's almost like two gangs coming together. You know, we got the one side of the Pac-12, Big 12. Let's bring them together.
Oh, yeah. Oh, for sure. And I was actually disappointed that you came back with good news from Eskimo Joe's, that it was great. Like, because I was just hoping to clown on it. You know what I mean? Like, some other place, Stillwater, Oklahoma. I was like, it's in the middle of nowhere. Like, you think about – because people are going to look at Utah. They're going to look at Salt Lake. They're going to look at Provo, and they're going to be like, Utah, bleh. People from Kansas and Oklahoma going, Utah, what is that? Like, come on. Like, and so when you came back and said, the cheese fries, dude, I'm like, come on. Didn't Training Table do cheese fries? Like, we're fine. I don't know. Anyway, bottom line is we should actually see if our boss, Nate, would just sponsor a full food tour prior to the Big 16 next year, to the new Big 12, and for us to be like, here we are in Manhattan, Kansas, home of 9 McDonald's. Like, I don't know how we're going to do it, but we could always pitch something to the bosses.
Here in Waco, Texas, you can get this great chicken at a gas station.
It's Chester's, so you know it's good. Wash it down with a cool Dr. Pepper.
Here in Stillwater, go to Love's. Go to the gas station Love's. They got great showers.
I was going to say, shower number 2 now open for Mitch Harper. Come claim your shower. Yes, it's a call it what it is. It's the flyover. Yeah. It's the trucker conference, whatever it might be, but it's going to be 16 pretty darn good football programs and really, really good basketball as well, on top of all the other sports. The Big 12 of next year is going to be something pretty special, I think. And at the very least, like you brought it up earlier in the show, it's going to be very different than, just imagining all these teams being together. I think you need to get used to the idea of a lot of weird teams being in conferences that we would have never imagined. The Big 12 is like a normal one compared to some of the geographies you can compare across the country going forward. So let me ask you this. I know that Utah can have some immediate success. They've already been in a Power 5 situation. So if you're a local fan here, if you're a BYU fan, how long is it going to take for BYU to have success in the conference? What does conference success look like? Obviously, you start to set your sights on things like maybe that first conference title game to play in, maybe even being a part of, if you're in that top 12 at the end of the year and you get part of that, that at-large bid into your first college football playoff bid in the 12-team setup. What does that look like, and when do you think that could be for BYU fans to finally get to that spot where they go, you're in a Power 5 conference, you're winning, and you're getting relevant?
I think three years, so 2026, and I say that because the last time BYU had a losing record, it was 2017, and it took 3 years for BYU to have a breakthrough year, and that was amidst a once-in-a-lifetime pandemic in 2020 with cobbling up a schedule. And what was different then, too, was that they had a quarterback that they leaned into, and that was Zach Wilson. There's no quarterback like that in the program right now, but I still will say 3 years, because I think that's enough time. I think next year's got to be, you got to get to a bowl game at a minimum, or else, hot seat's going to really ratchet up for a lot of coaches, including Kalani. And I think he understands that. And, he wants to be at BYU, though. And I think that there was something really kind of noteworthy at the end of the last season that, players did not give up on him. I thought it was pretty neat that, Eddie Heckard saying, no BYU team's going to quit. And I kind of bought into that a little bit because I just think that's something you can build off of, that they're not going to roll over for Kalani. They really believe in that guy. And so I think he's the right man for the job, but he's got to clean some things up, with some just, clock management and decision making, and it'll be a little bit tougher. I thought BYU lacked toughness this year. So 3 years to me is kind of the timeline I look at and say, at the earliest, 2026 is when you're competing for a title. And I know that's tough because when Utah's going to step in, and they're going to be in the mix from the get-go. Like, will they win it? I don't know. But they're going to be kind of in that upper echelon from day one. And I think that's a tough pill to swallow for BYU fans. And I think that adds, to the urgency to really get this right in a hurry. But 3 years is my timeline for the Cougs. What about you?
Yeah, I mean, I'd be hesitant to say 3 years and then it's a bust, but I do think that because it is such a coin toss, and you have more teams now to compete with, and so I don't know. I would think that 3 year time frame could be it, but at the same time, I still wonder if that's going to be enough time to build the depth that you're looking for. And I do think that BYU could get left behind on the money side of things. When you talk about NIL that is competitive, when you talk about money that could bring in people that could change your entire program, I wonder if BYU is going to come around to that, which is, kind of that six-figure to $1 million range that you hear about players now. You go, I don't know if BYU will ever feel comfortable doing that, but maybe they come around. Maybe that's the only way to be able to compete, but I'm sure BYU will get creative because they know things are a little bit different.
Well, and I think also, too, with BYU is that stop thinking of the mindset of let's do more with less. Let's try to just save the absolute most money we can. And I get there's value to that, but you got to just be willing to sometimes spend and dig into the pocket and go, we're gonna pay the market rate and maybe
it might be interesting. It'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see what the money does to them. Man, I wonder if BYU, you changed with all that money coming in, man. You were different back then. You were scrappy, and now you think you're getting all this Big 12 money. When do they start getting a full share? When does that happen?
2025.
Yeah, well, then there you go. The year right after they start getting that full share of dollars, they're going to be good again. There you go. They're going to be competitive. All right, we'll take another break here. We'll come back. When we do, finally, here we are. Mitch and I are going to fight about some into the future Big 12 power rankings, all of the teams in next year's Big 12, where they should be slotted for the very early version of a power ranking. So stay right here. More to go around the corner. It's First and 12, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone and KSL News Radio.